A fragile peace at a Caledonia housing project shattered this afternoon when riot police swooped down on native protesters.
It's the same site where homebuilder Sam Gualtieri was attacked by protesters last week.
And Randy Steele joins us now live with the latest.
Well, Dan, this was the first day contractors returned to the job site here after an agreement was hammered out with natives. The contractor said it was just a normal day, nothing out of the unusual here. And then, earlier this afternoon, that changed.
Hi, I live up there.
I know we're just, for now we're closing the road down completely. It'll be hopefully not too long.
A perimeter was set up around this area and contractors were asked to leave the site. Residents were kept out. Police said that was because of safety concerns. A number of police vans entered the site. Joe Gualtieri, the brother of Sam, who was beaten here inside a home he was building, witnessed the arrest.
Yeah, it was just an absolutely amazing feeling of empowerment to see 100 riot-geared police officers marching in unison, banging their shields lightly but in unison, and letting people know that we're behind them and they're for us, walking towards the mound of dirt where the protesters were. They went there. More police came from all over the place, surrounded the area. There's police on the other side of the berm. There's police everywhere. There must be at least 200 officers there.
The natives were kicking in the walls of the paddy wagon as they were wheeled off. Police haven't confirmed the number yet, but we're told 8 to 9 protesters were arrested. Now, an ecstatic Joe Gualtieri told us earlier that the officers, when this happened, he smiled at them. They in turn turned to him, smiled, and gave him the thumbs up. That's it for now. Laverne, back to you.
All right, thanks for that report, Randy. And the arrests have upset many of the Six Nations people who say they're simply fighting to save land stolen from them years ago. Our Nick Dixon has been talking to Six Nations leaders and joins us now live from the newsroom with more. What have you got for us, Nick?
Well, good evening, Vernon. You're right. They are upset and they appear very concerned about what has gone on the Stirling Street site this afternoon. And as Randy mentioned, it's because of the arrest. Here's why. Take a look at what we saw from the air today. In the footage taken from above the standoff, you can clearly see why Six Nations protesters, one after the other, are being carried away by 5 or 6 police officers at a time. They're taken away and then laid down on the street as officers work to keep them in custody. All the signs of a standoff are here in Caledonia this afternoon. On the one side, you will see rows of police wearing riot gear, heavily armed, and then across the tracks from that scene, you'll see the Six Nations protesters who want to see their land treated properly. We're told that many of these people there are local Six Nations protesters and people from around the area. But scenes like this are painful to the Native community. It's hard to know exactly what is being said in some of the instances. As you can see, protesters and police talking in close range a couple of times. But then minutes later, another is in custody. Six Nations flags, as you see, are flying on both sides of the tracks. And on the Stirling side in particular, evidence of how big that police presence really is. And there are a lot of vehicles there as well as officers on the ground.
Yes, it is a very emotional time. It's hard to watch that and know that the people that are there are fighting for our land rights and the recognition of the Confederacy and our sovereignty over our lands, and it hurts a lot to see that taking place. It reminds me of the April 20th raid. And
what's happening today is obviously going to have an impact, and we're going to, myself, I'm going to be answerable to the community and the Confederacy about how we go forward, but we are going forward.
And both Hazel and Aaron Detler both say that this will not be a setback for the HDI. That is what Randy was mentioning off the top of the newscast this evening. That's the deal struck between the Six Nations Confederacy chiefs and local builders, that they would have to go through them before they continue to build on land under dispute right now. And also, both of them were just also reinforcing that the people there at the site protesting, they are trying to remind us, Stan, that they are protesting peacefully. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Nick. And one footnote to our coverage tonight, Sam Gualtieri, the home builder who suffered serious head injuries when he was attacked on the Stirling Street site last week, was released from hospital this afternoon. He's now home with his family.